Okay, I think we're live here. Callie, are you live on your end? Do you see
It
it?
it says live.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. I'm super excited about this particular Friday because in 48 hours I'm leaving for Kona, Hawaii. So I'm like really fired up about it being Friday today. But while people are joining, and I cannot wait to introduce you guys to the amazing Callie Horn that I am visiting with today. Let me go in. I'm going to make sure we are live in the right place. I'm going to tag you, Callie, so your followers also have access to this video, this interview. And I think hopefully we are good to go now. I'm excited to be here with you, Callie, this morning. And thank you for agreeing to do this today. For those that don't know me, and many of Callie's friends and followers, I'm sure, do not know me. I want to just quickly introduce myself, and then I want to introduce you guys to Callie Horn. So, my name is Tish Mefford. I have been in the direct selling space. I'm in my 15th year, so for a hot minute. I am a mother to three now grown children. I'm an official empty nester. So I'm enjoying that next life stage that my husband and I are in. My husband and I have been married for 28 years. He was my college sweetheart. I turned to this profession or industry back in October of 2008, smack dab during the recession when we were living in Houston, Texas, and Hurricane Ike had hit the Texas Gulf Coast. And I was a small business owner at the time. I'd had a wedding business for 10 years. And my business, along with the Houston economy, took a huge tank. So I was quickly looking for a solution, a way to pay for a couple of bills in my household. And I turned to direct selling, specifically jewelry, because it was going to be a short-term fix for me until my business picked back up. And then once I got involved, I fell in love with everything that this business brings. And it's been my full-time career for the last 15 years. I partnered with Park Lane Jewelry about 5 years ago. So what Callie and I have in common is we both have had experience with another company in the jewelry space. I was with my first company for 10 years, and then I've been here at Park Lane. It'll be 5 years in April. Now, for those of you that don't know Callie Horn, I love this woman. I first met Callie and connected with her last fall, and she joined us. You joined us in October, is that right?
It was the very, very end of September.
Okay, end of September. She joined scared to death, full disclosure, just like she is to do this interview today, scared to death, but doing it anyway, facing the fear and doing it anyway. And Callie is a teacher by trade. How many years have you been teaching, or did you teach, Callie?
I taught kindergarten for 14 years.
Amazing. And so you entered the direct selling space while you were still working full time. Is that
Yep,
correct?
correct.
Yes. She's had incredible success in this business, in this industry. She has built a six-figure income. We're not making income claims here today, but she has built a six-figure income in this space and with her first company. But like me, decided to partner with Park Lane last fall. And it is incredible to see the success that she's had in the short amount of time that she's been here. And we'll talk more about that as we get a little bit deeper in. But I'm happy to have you here today, Callie.
Thank you. I'm nervous, but I'm super honored that you asked me.
I'm honored that you agreed to, because I do know you're nervous. So, okay, let's start with, tell me a little bit about you personally and your family life, because I know you've got a beautiful family that I want you to brag on for a moment.
So I was born and raised in California, lived in California for 40 years, was a teacher, like you said, married my husband. He's from California. We have two kiddos, Bentley and Remy. Bentley's 8 and Remy's 5, almost 6. And we actually decided to move halfway across the country. So over the summer, we relocated to Texas. We're on the eastern side of Texas. And that has been a huge change for us. So I left teaching at the end of the school year. We packed everything up and we moved halfway across the country. So that's kind of us in a nutshell.
And you live Is it Conroe or Montgomery?
It's Conroe, right next to Montgomery. Yeah.
And your kids are in the Montgomery School District, is that right?
They're at a private school.
Okay, in
Mhm.
the area. So, my sister and brother-in-law live in Conroe. And so I've been, and they raised their two kids there. They're both out of school now, but I've been going to that area for many, many, many years. So it's a beautiful area to live, a great area to raise a family.
Yes, we love it.
So tell me, when you entered this profession, how many years ago? Sorry, Callie, you may have said
About 12 years ago.
Okay. What led you to the profession originally? You were teaching and in
I
California.
was, yeah. So I was actually teaching school full time. I didn't have my kiddos because obviously Bentley's 8. And I was actually teaching dance at night. I grew up a competitive dancer, so I was busy, like everybody else. I was busy. Life was busy. I had the whole I'm so busy I don't have any time. But um, I really wanted, because we were newly married. We had bought a house. We were brand new in each of our jobs. So your pay is low. And so we had a very tight budget to pay for our house payment and all of that. And I just really wanted to shop at Target and not have to say is this going to cut into our budget? So honestly, I just reached out to my friend who was selling at a company that sold bags. And I was like, can I make $250 a month? Because that's really all I need so that I can go have some fun money. So that was really why. I knew nothing about the industry. I really did not do any research. I just was like, hey, she's making some money. Can I make $250 so I can go shop at Target whenever I want?
You wanted to cover your Target runs. I did not know this about you. This needs to be your story, Callie. You need to blast this everywhere. Are you that girl that wants to do the Target runs without having to explain anything after the fact? I can help you. I've got a solution for you. That's awesome.
Yes, yeah. And it did. I was able to go to Target and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, I love that. So you got started. Obviously, you must have quickly started earning more than $250 in a month. So tell me a little bit about that early experience in the industry.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just went into it. I had no clue. And I started doing the home parties. I did home parties for years and years and years. And I eventually found my way into the jewelry space. I've been with a few jewelry companies. So the majority of my time and experience is in the jewelry space. And I've been with a few, like I mentioned. I did the home parties, and then we started doing the pivot to the online parties. And the online is where it just grew exponentially because your reach is so much bigger than your city that you're in. And it became very appealing to people very quickly that they could sit like this at their house and not have to leave and pack up their car and take something across town and all of that. So, it became very appealing to people when the online social media kind of aspect came into direct selling. And that's really where I saw a lot of growth in the industry.
And since you spent quite a bit of time with jewelry, tell me what it is you love about the jewelry category. Because you and I both have spent a lot of time with jewelry. So tell me why my followers hear me talk about it, why I love it so much, but you tell me why you love it so much.
Well, it's interesting because I left a previous company about 10 months ago, which was jewelry, and I'd been there a very long time. And I thought I was done with jewelry. I took a step away from it. I kind of moved away from the jewelry space. But then I really realized how much I actually did miss the jewelry. I missed my customers. My customers missed me. And being back in it has really shown me it's what I always knew, but it took stepping away and then coming back to really see oh my gosh, I really do love this. It's so much fun. And the messages I get from customers and team members about how beautiful they feel in this jewelry, how it changes their day. I'm actually just had a message from a customer a week ago. And she told me, I really struggle with feeling good about myself. And I've found that when I put on this jewelry, it just changes my whole day and I feel beautiful. And I was like, that's what it's about. You feel beautiful putting on jewelry. It fits everybody. I mean, it just, that right there was just a reminder that this is where I'm at. This is the right spot for me. It brings joy to people. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's one of those things that how simple it can change your whole day, your whole mood.
My biggest thing about, and I look at it from the business perspective. I mean, I, like you, have sold jewelry for a long time, 10 years at one company, 5 years here at Park Lane. But when I was considering making a switch, and I knew, I adamantly knew I wanted to stay with jewelry because I know how simple the business is. It requires very little knowledge of the product. I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, we don't sell the jewelry. We show people the jewelry. People know what they love. They have their style. Thankfully, we have a full service jewelry line. So it speaks to every style type, every demographic, every age group, every, um, uh, you know, market, because the 20 something year old is looking for something very different than the 50 something year old or 60 something year old. And so we've got something for everyone, but I just like how simple it is, because
Mhm.
life is hard for people. And sometimes it can be really hard.
Mhm.
And people don't want a hard business. If they're going to layer something into their life to cover their Target runs or whatever else, it needs to be simple. And that's what I love about jewelry. It's just very simple. And as you mentioned, it's incredibly fun.
Yeah, it's so simple. I mean, anybody can just plug right in. I do love that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what made you decide, and what made you intrigued to learn more about Park Lane when you decided to learn more?
Well, when I was looking at coming back into the jewelry space, I'd heard about Park Lane, but I honestly had not done any type of research about it. And I just heard certain things over the years about it. And I remember hearing that their compensation plan was higher, was better, was more lucrative and generous. And I wanted to see if that was actually true. I'd heard that it didn't matter how much you sold, like what your pay rate was, is your pay rate. You don't lose it. You only can increase it. And so I had heard that. So I was intrigued by that. And then I'd heard that there was a program that honored leadership experience, and I didn't know very much about it. I honestly thought it wasn't real, because I made assumptions without doing any research. And I thought, well, maybe I should look into this because maybe it is real, and maybe it would be something that would fit for me, because I do come with years of experience in multiple companies. I've seen multiple compensation plans, and I've been a leader at multiple levels in those companies. And so I just thought it's worth looking into to see if some of those rumblings are really true.
Yeah. You're so smart, Callie. You're very smart.
I don't
It's
make I
it's
don't make decisions lightly. Like, in my personality, I've got to read, I've got to ask questions. And I talked to you on the phone a lot before I joined, and I had a million questions. And
You
for
did.
me, it was, how is this going to fit into my life? And is this a good fit? But is it also, if I have women who decide they want to join me, will it be a fit for them? That was very important to me, was, would these women who trust me and want to come join me, would they feel it's a good fit, and would they be able to plug in and be able to have success as well?
Yeah. We're very similar in that regards. And I remember your conversations so as if they were yesterday. And we were strangers until we were connected, because you were wanting to talk to someone that had been here, that had made the switch, that you didn't know, that could give you, a different opinion, a different perspective, et cetera, et cetera. And your fears were very similar to the same fears that I had. So
Mhm.
I 100% understood them and empathized with them. And your reasons for changing and being interested were also very similar, because again, for those that don't know my story, I, like you, had incredible success with another company, another jewelry. I'm going to just share my story. Another jewelry company, and at that jewelry company, I was the top income earner. I spent 10 years there. Both my sisters were in the business with me, for goodness sakes. Like, it truly was a family business. And it changed my life. And I was fortunate enough to help change some other people's lives as well in the process. And will always be incredibly grateful for that opportunity. The problem that I was personally experiencing, I can only speak to my personal experience, is um, I, I was having the success I needed and desired and wanted, and more success than I ever thought I would have in my life, and earning more than I could have ever earned in a corporate job or with my first business and all the things. but I was having a really hard time helping other people have the success that they were needing and wanting to have. And as fast as people were coming in, people were leaving because they were spending a lot of time working really hard and they could not earn what they needed to earn. We're having to layer in and add other things. And the business just became hard, quite frankly. It became hard for them. And so I walked away from more income than I had ever made at that time to start again and rebuild. But I did it because I knew if I can help others, it's that, it's that whole Zig Ziglar quote that we all know. You go out and help others do what they need and want to do in their lives, and you'll be able to accomplish and do what you need and want to do in your life. And that is truly why I made that change. I didn't make it for me. I made it because I wanted to be able to help others have the success they needed and desired and were deserving of.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did my due diligence, like you, and did my research and did all the things you were doing, talking to other people that had experience here, talking to other people that knew the company, knew the family, I was like, I understand why the success has happened with this company for over 6 decades now. It was very clear to me once I got educated. I was afraid to get educated, but once I did, it becomes very clear. So anyway, I appreciate you sharing what intrigued you. So I want to hear, you've been here since October. What's been your biggest surprise since joining? Because full disclosure to Callie, I'm just going to out you for a moment. Callie was a little skeptical in a certain, there were some areas where Callie's like, I don't know, that sounds like it's a little too good to be true, Tish. I'll believe it when I see it. I could probably show the text of that. I'll believe it when I see it. So, and I respect you for being honest with your skepticism, and that's okay. That means you're very analytical. That means that, again, you don't just jump. You wanted to truly see, and you wanted to experience and see the results before I think you were really ready to bring along others in the journey with you. I don't know if you recognize that, but I think there was a little bit of that inside of you going on as well, which I also respect.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been your biggest surprise?
So honestly, I was thinking, when you were talking, I was thinking about how I was really skeptical because, I have obviously a large customer base, and then I've got, I had a large team. I have a lot of people that I talk to and know, and I was thinking, gosh, this is a big change. Will my customers will they love the jewelry? It's a different style. It's a different price point. Like, will they love the jewelry? That was a big fear for me. And the biggest surprise has been how easy it's been to sell the jewelry. Like, I've sold so much jewelry. That has been like the biggest surprise to me, I would say. There's a few that come to mind, but that one's the biggest one, is like how well and quickly my customers just jumped in and loved the jewelry, the hostesses, and booking more parties because people want more jewelry. So honestly, that's probably been the biggest surprise, because I was like, I don't know, we'll see. Like I told you, like I'll believe it when I see it.
You had a customer base that had that you had built with your first line of jewelry, and like you said, I had the same fear. I remember thinking I've had success because of the company, because of the brand, because of the jewelry, and I quickly realized I've had success because of me. Like, it's me that has created that success, because this is a relationship business. And we as customers, we support the people we want to support. We support the brands we want to support. We support the businesses we want to support. And so I quickly realized that, but you have to be in it to kind of draw that conclusion yourself. And then when you see, I'm like you, Callie, I sell so much more jewelry here than I ever did before. So since you're talking about this, you're going to have to share some numbers for a moment. I want you to brag on yourself. And I know you're like, I'm so uncomfortable. This is not bragging. You are educating on what is possible. This is how I feel. So tell us, share with us what you have, I guess, sold since the beginning of the year, like just since January.
So since January, it's right around 12,000 since January.
Okay, we're just in our third week of February. You're talking 6 weeks. So you sold about 6,000 in January. Is that right?
Correct.
And you earn what percentage commission do you earn on those sales?
45 to 50.
45, and you earned 50 because you
I
recruited.
did earn 50 last month.
You earned 50% on your 6,000 in sales. And did you typically sell that much, like on a consistent basis with your in previous companies?
No.
How much on average do you recall by chance?
Like probably like 2,000 probably would be a good number.
Yeah. So you sold 6,000 in January. We're 2 weeks into February. It's only the 10th. How much have you sold in the first 2 weeks of February? About 6,000?
Right around 6,000. I know it's kind of nuts, and I feel weird even saying that, but yeah.
And it may have something to do with Callie's a little bit fired up about our next trip that we're working to earn. Callie, share with the world where we're going next.
To Paris.
Have you ever been to Paris before?
I have not.
So this is one of the reasons why you're fired up to earn this trip, right?
Yeah, it's super exciting to be working toward that because I mean, that's a huge trip. Like I can't even fathom going there and to be able to earn it for free. And my goal is to earn it for free for my husband too.
Yeah.
That's incredible and it's so attainable. Like that's one of the things I was thinking is a big surprise for me is just like how attainable it is because I mean it just is.
Uh-huh. So and granted, guys, this is a 5-month earning period on this contest. We have until the end of May to earn this contest. Okay. But we've got a little bit of a super high achiever over here. And Callie, how close are you right now? I know we have our tracker that we can follow. How close are you to earning this trip at the moment? 6 weeks in, 4 weeks in, really. It was launched a month ago, 4 weeks in.
About 95%.
You guys, Callie, is that blowing your mind?
It's blowing my mind. Yeah. So I don't even understand how that happened just so fast.
Well, I know how it happened because number one, you're following our system.
Yeah.
And the system works. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And number two, you are getting incredible response from your customer base and your hostesses, and they love it. And they love the new collection, our Hamptons collection. And you're booking, you're plugging into our training. I mean, I could go on and on about, and I'll let you do that in a moment, but I'm so happy for you. Huge congrats.
Thank you.
And
it's really exciting. I haven't earned the trip yet, but it's very close. I've never earned a trip this quickly. So I'm still kind of wrapping my brain around that. So that's really exciting.
Well, again, going back to my story and my experiences, one of the things I loved about Park Lane that really spoke to me was that you could come in here and just be consistent with your business, not even like rock star status, like what you're doing right now. Be consistent with your business and earn trips here. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be the top sellers. You don't have to be the top recruiters. Like we have lots of people that aren't. And actually this week, for 1 week only, Park Lane is going to give away 2 trips to Paris where people can win a trip over this next week. And all they have to do to get an entry is submit $500 in sales this week. I mean, which we will have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on our team alone that do that because they're like, yeah, I'll pop in a party and do that to have a chance of winning. We have 2 team members that are going to Kona with us Sunday because that's the trip we're about to take that you weren't here to earn. Obviously, I earned it a year ago. Yeah. We're taking that trip. I earned it 6 months ago, I should say, but we're taking that trip starting Sunday. We have 2 team members who are going to Kona with us who won the trip to Kona by submitting $500 in sales in a particular week. And that was one of the weeks they were giving away Kona trips. So how incredibly generous is our company? And that's what I love about it. Like just so many things. Okay. So you're obviously going to earn the trip for 2. I have no doubt in my mind since you're so far ahead in the game. And how many people have you brought into the business since January?
Oh, since January, I think maybe 10.
Yeah. And how are they doing? How has their experience been?
Doing great, excited. Yeah, excited. And really, I get a lot of messages about the resources that are at their fingertips that have been like huge for them. So they're super excited because if they need a graphic, there's a spot for that graphic. If they need a training video, there's a spot for that. So they're just really excited with how easy it was for them to plug in.
That's awesome. Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment. So walk me through 12 years in the business. Now you've been at Park Lane approximately 6-ish months, not quite, but you're heading to that direction. What do you feel like? I like to say Park Lane is different with a capital D. Like it's so different with a capital D, and there's a lot of things that make it very different. I want to hear from you. What is it that you've loved about this company and has made you feel a lot more confident about your decision?
Well, like how you said, it's different. I really continue to be impressed by how generous Park Lane is. That's been very, very dominant across the time that I've been here. They have incredible customer sales all the time. There's always something going on, and a great way for customers to get a good deal. We just had a free necklace a few days ago that they could get just tossed into their order, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. The amount that they like spoil hostesses with. I just had a hostess last week get a $480 shopping spree, almost $500. And like I was like, we didn't even have to leave our house for this. So their hostess plan has been super generous. I was just looking in my back office, and I have so much free jewelry for me personally that I have to go in and redeem that I
Yes.
get to go in and redeem for free. So there's just been so many areas where I just keep saying, gosh, that's so generous what they're giving their customers, their hostesses, their stylists. That's been the big thing for me about it being so different. And then your team that you have is so different in what is provided by all of you, like you and your leadership team, like your trainings, your graphics, all of that. Those have been like the two big things for me.
Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you saying that, and it is incredibly important to me. And as you know, you've been here for again almost 6 months now. You see how our team operates. We operate the way we do because number one, we have attracted the best in the business. I mean, Park Lane offers the best programs, best compensation, best customer plan, host plan, perks, our Mercedes car plan, 2 trips a year. I mean, all the things, rich rewards where our stylists can earn over 1,000 in free product on a monthly basis. They offer their philosophy, Park Lane's philosophy is we're going to offer the best so we can attract the best. And when you have the best coming together, I mean, we are unstoppable. And the resources that we have created they blow people's minds. And I hear it from experienced people like yourself, Callie, all the time. And it makes me feel like, okay, we're doing exactly what I set out to do here. We are truly a company within a company here.
Mm-hmm.
And we have plug and play systems, scripts out the wazoo, our own app with all the resources at your fingertips. Again, the business needs to be simple for people and it needs to be fun. So when you've got 15 minutes to be able to work your business in between kids' activities or running kids to, afternoon things, whatever, we want you to be able to spend that 15 minutes on income producing activities for yourself, not making a graphic, for goodness sake. So
yes.
anyway.
That has been huge because even like the graphics alone is huge because you can just go find whatever you need and they're constantly updating. So like something launches this week, we're going to get some graphics for that. And I love that because people don't have to worry. I hear that all the time. I don't know how to make graphics. I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to.
Or do I?
Also the ability to plug into something almost every single day. There's like a Zoom or some sort of training going on every single day that if you want to, it's right there for you to plug in. And there's always replays. And then like you mentioned that app, like being able to go into that app and then just say like, I need to learn how to do this. And there's a video that shows you how to do that. And it's really easy for people to just click right in and they have that resource that they need and that question answered right there.
I'm glad you brought that up. Do you find that it's also made it, I mean, you've onboarded 10 new stylists, you said, since January. that could potentially be overwhelming for
Mhm.
someone. That's a lot of new people to onboard. Do you feel like our resources and our app make it so much more doable for you and help you leverage your time because you've got all the resources you need at your fingertips to send people what they need when they've got questions?
Yeah, for sure. Because one of the first things I tell someone is you need to get this app.
Uh-huh.
Like, get this right now because I'm about to send you a video and you're going to need that app so
Yeah.
that you can open this video.
Uh-huh.
So, it's super helpful. Instead of having to talk, like to type out a bunch of instructions, I can just pop a video and then say, okay, then tell me what your questions are after you watch the video.
Yeah.
And, it's super helpful and just smarter to, like you said, use your time wisely and, make sure that everybody's getting what they need. And it's just a really good resource.
Makes me happy. Man, that fires me up, Callie. Okay, so let's say a friend were to come to you and ask your advice. Okay, I'm considering making a change. I'm considering getting educated. I'm considering getting into this business for the first time. I know before we did this interview, you told me like one of the things you want people to realize is anybody can have success here. You said, I reckon you're like me. Okay. When people look at you, they're like, well, of course, Callie's having success. She's always has success. Like she's a go-getter. She would have success anywhere she goes. I've gotten that too, Callie. And I didn't come to this company so that only I could have success. I actually came to this company so I could help the average person that has never done this before, that has very little time, but that needs to have a simple way to earn extra income for that person to do it. So if someone came to you asking your advice, what would your advice be to them?
Well, the first thing is to listen to the gut. Like whatever your heart, your gut is saying, is to listen to that and at least get curious because maybe it's not right for you. We don't know, but a lot of times we tell ourselves stories real quick and talk ourselves out of things. And in all honesty, you're always going to be busy. That's never going to change. That's life. That's real life. You're always going to be busy. You're always going to have something going on. But if you have that like gut feeling, that heart feeling, get curious and at least go get information, get educated. That's what I did. I got curious because I wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go join this company. I was like, no, I want to know if this matches like my gut feeling. Like, is this a good alignment for me? And so I would tell someone, listen to your gut or your heart. If you have curiosity, you deserve to go follow that curiosity and see what it brings. Like it doesn't hurt anybody to ask questions and get educated. And then if you think that something like this is a good fit for you, do it because you're just going to talk yourself out and say, I'm too busy. I don't have time. I'm not good enough. No, you just have to do it. You have to do it. And there's I hear this all the time when people say, you have to start when you're not ready. And
Mm.
it's so true because you're never going to have that. You're not going to wake up one morning and just say like, today is the day that everything falls in place. No, because your kid's going to go over here and do something. Everything's going to continue. So I would just say, start before you're ready, listen to your gut and just try.
Such sound advice. I love that. That's wisdom right there. Because you've spent enough time in the business and you get it.
Mhm.
So how has Park Lane just in the last several months, how has it impacted your life? Like what has it been able to help you? I mean, I know you got into the business early on because you wanted a target run, but like now, how has this been able to impact and make a difference for you and your family?
Well, like not just Park Lane, but like the entire like direct selling space can really like it's so cliche to say change your life, but it really can change your life. And when I say change your life, I don't just mean financially. Like, yes, that's amazing if you can change your life financially. It did that for me and my family. But I moved across halfway across the country. I
Mm.
know nobody here. I know a few moms that parent pickup, and I don't know anybody, but I've been able to plug in on my computer, on my phone, and interact with people all over the country. And that alone has been so helpful for me and just the relationships you're going to meet. So overall direct sales in general changed my life. I didn't say this, but the last 5 years that I taught, I was able to teach part-time, and I never would have been able to afford to do that without my business. So when I had stepped away and decided to come back, those were things that were important to me. I want to find people that I can connect with, people that I can talk to. So for me, it's brought a sense of community back for me, both with my customers who I missed so dearly, and I have new customers who I'm meeting, and then new team members and new people in your organization that I didn't know. And then, of course, financially, it's helping out so much faster and better than I thought it would. Like I told you, I'll believe it when I see it. So for me, it's been those two things have been really big. The pay is, of course, lovely, but just the people in general that I've been surrounded with, the positivity, like the excitement. People are excited all the time. And so that's just fun. And that's contagious when you're around it. Even for someone like me who's a skeptic, you know, you can't help but kind of look around and being like, well, maybe this does work. Maybe this is, you know, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And you, as you know, a couple of days ago, I made an announcement with the team that I am bringing in an incredible business mentor who's going to be going through a year of breakthrough coaching with our team. And you got to know him a little bit in the fall because I brought him in for a 4-month series in the fall. Are you excited about that?
Yeah. And I had already followed him before you even brought him in. So when you announced it, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. I had already heard some of his trainings before.
Okay.
So I knew that that was going to be good. I didn't know like the next level that he was even going to bring, obviously, until you told us. I didn't even know that was like a level that he did. So that's super exciting just because he is just so knowledgeable. And the reaction from the team, everybody's just been super excited and just so grateful that you're providing that. Like, that's just another thing that's being provided, like just more things just being given to us to help us succeed.
Well, because I know, and I'm really excited to do this. I'm excited to invest in the team this way, but I just know that when we can help people live their best life in every aspect of their life, it overflows into every aspect of their life. And
It's all connected.
it is all connected.
Mhm.
You're right. So I'm really excited about that as well. So thank you. And I didn't know that you followed him before. So that's interesting. Okay. So I know we've gone a long time and here we are almost 40 minutes in, Callie. Can you believe it? The
So
one
crazy.
that was really nervous about doing this. So let's close with this. What are you like? Do you have any future goals? I know you want to earn Paris, which check that box. That's going to happen. I'm not worried about that one. Any other big future goals here with Park Lane?
I'm really enjoying, you know, each little step along the way. And I really I'm excited to earn Paris. And then earn Paris for 2. That's going to be super exciting as well. But overall, I'm just looking so forward to like helping more women find more success than they thought was possible for themselves too. Like to come in and the ones that are already here as well, helping them just continue to find success like more than they thought possible. And I got a text message from a team member earlier this week, and she sent me a screenshot of like the little calculator app. And she's like, this is how much I earned off of one party, like one party. And sometimes I earned that in a solid month before. And so when I see those things, that is what gets me excited because I know that I can help more people do the same thing, make more money, have more success, feel more confident, and feel like they're in the right spot and feel good about that than they ever have before.
Because you know what that does. And by the way, what did she make on that one party? I'm curious. What did she send over to you?
Gosh, I'd have to pull it up, but she had it was something like in the 300s just
Yeah.
off of one party.
Yeah. So you know what that does? This is where I get really fired up because when we can help women earn more income, we as women, we don't keep and hoard that income for ourselves and go spend it all at Target or on designer shoes or whatever. We take that income and we turn around and we redistribute it.
Mhm.
We redistribute it into things that are going to make an impact in our kids' lives. We redistribute it into the causes that are near and dear to our hearts. We redistribute it into our community. We redistribute it into opportunities for our family, that are going to help our family, be able to go and, change the world, or learn and grow in areas that are going to make them better human beings, and create experiences for our families, and all of these things. And that is true empowerment for women. That helps build women's confidence to a whole nother level when they can turn around and earn some income and then make a difference with that. And that is why I get really passionate about helping get the word out that you are deserving of great income if you have the desire, and we have a solution for people that are looking for that and need that. It's not to just hoard it all in the bank. It's to turn around and redistribute it and make an impact, however that is. I'm in a life stage now where we're empty nesters. We are paying for 2 college educations. Thankfully, this profession has allowed me to save up for all that, so it's not a worry in the world for our family, which I'm very grateful for. We have a daughter that's studying abroad in Spain this semester, and she's just living her best life, experiencing that. We are investing more at this stage because the retirement years and the older years are closer to us than they are further away when they were 10 and 20 years ago. And it feels so good to me that I am able to turn around and earn income, and then turn around and put that income in investment accounts that is then turning around and earning more income. Like, that is very empowering for me. And that's what this business can do for people. So
I was thinking about when she said that, because it was like 340, 360, something like that. And I remember thinking when she sent it, first of all, I was so excited for her and we were messaging like crazy. But I was thinking later, I was like, I needed $250 a month to do my Target runs. And she's made 300 and some change off of one night of hanging out on Facebook, partying and showing pretty jewels in one night. She's made that. And if she did that multiple times a month, like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. So I just remember thinking, like, that's a huge impact, because right now there are people who, look at the price of eggs. The money that you can earn off of just doing 1 or 2 or 3 parties a month, even just where you can, whatever it works for you. I love that about this business, because if you just want to do 2 parties a month, you can. If you want to do 22 parties a month, you can. But just being able to do that, like, can fill someone's gas tank, can help them put that food on the table that maybe they weren't sure they were going to be able to do before. So that's really powerful to me, to be able to see someone be able to do that, put their kids through gymnastics, whatever it is.
And let me clarify this, because in case people don't know, you do your part. I do my parties 100% online, 100% on Facebook. I don't do in-home parties anymore. I used to. That's how I started my business. Yeah. But since COVID, we pivoted, and I haven't walked in a home since then. You are the same, right? These are Facebook parties that you're doing online from home.
I don't know anybody here. So for me, like, this is 100% online, 100% through Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Callie, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy and mind-blowing, because just your ability, the possibilities are so exponential when you have the social media aspect and you plug in. Everything's right there. Everybody, they teach you how to do it. If you have no experience, like, everything's right there for you to do. So I just think that's just really, really, like, that's just powerful to have that possibility, like, at your fingertips.
Well, huge congrats. Thank you so much for sharing your heart today, facing the fear and doing it anyway.
I did.
And I told you, I'm like, I promise I'm not mean. It'll be super fun. Don't worry. Anyway, Callie, I'm so happy for you. I'm honored to get to work with you. It's been beautiful to watch just your whole metamorphosis occur. You are definitely going to be one of the top and fastest on our team to earn this trip. So huge kudos to you on that. And just thank you for believing in yourself and giving this a chance.
Well, I'm very honored that you asked me to do this, and it has been fun. So again, you were right. And I just want to thank you, because you have been so incredible this whole entire time. And people who come in are just constantly telling me, the sisters, because, you and your sisters, the sisters, I can't believe what they do. I can't believe how helpful they are. Like, I can't believe that, they talk to me, that they help me. So I want to thank you for just being just an incredible, incredible upline and person all around.
Well, you're welcome. It's a labor of love. I absolutely love it, and it is what gets me up and excited every day. I look forward to just continuing to make the impact that we're making. So anyway, thank you, Callie. Thank you all, for everybody that tuned in. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out to Callie or myself to get them answered. And if you have decided after watching this you want to get educated and you're fearful, and you have experience in the industry and you have leadership experience in the industry, just like Callie, just like myself, we got educated through our Direct Appoint program. We had confidential conversations with one of our national directors here with Park Lane to get all of our questions answered, and so that we could then make an educated decision. It's not pressure, it's information, and everybody deserves to know what's out there, and then you make the best decision for you and your family. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Callie. Appreciate you. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.